There are Egyptian American Muslim women terrorists screaming in my head right now. They are trying to get me to stop saying that I hear them in my head. They are murdering me and my daughter with a telepathy, mind control, mind reading, war weapon that can take possession of your vehicle and your devices or vehicles. And furthermore, that has access literally to every database. Period. I mean, every um, every company business I walk into, every Walmart or Target or Albertsons, they know all the employees. They know they can look in the IRS databases for who's employed where. They can look up license plates and find out who the registered owners are. They know, I mean, they have access to public records, of course. So the terrorists talking in my head have everything at their disposal, and they're using the weapon to traffic, defame, frame, set people up, murder, convict people for crimes they're committing, and in the name of laundering money. And because they're not allowed to just, obviously there's obviously um, the opportunity for someone to take advantage of the situation being behind the weapon to launder money. So they can't just be behind it. They have to have justifiable reasons. Well, apparently these stupid psychos, their records go way back, and they're all tied to all the records that provide all the evidence to all the crimes they've committed are tied to mine. And they're screaming in my head day and night. Um, and it's like the only, at this point, they're so stupid, they're trying to murder me and basically get rid of the evidence, because what ends up happening with the records is just like a Walmart surveillance record or Target surveillance record, is that it gets stored in a database that Target has. And if there is nothing suspicious on it, where people are stealing and there's no the footage isn't necessary to take up all that space in their storage units or their databases, it just gets dumped so that new records can get stored. So these terrorists are after trying to get my records dumped. So here is the catch to all that. The people that are called suspects to the crimes these terrorists are claiming they're investigating, need to die in order for those records to be destroyed. Okay? It's not just a matter of like there's nothing on it. Not only that, we have to die. So they remain as long as we're still alive. And so the terrorists talking in my head, like I said, are trying to murder me and my daughter with the war weapon and make it look like we are, like I abandoned my daughter, and they're trying to traffic her obviously into an environment of drugs and alcohol. That's what it seems like. Because this whole time they're trying to deprive, I mean, they've been depriving me and playing with my daughter's head, so she is not motivated to do anything, literally. Um, Depriving me of money so I can't pay for music lessons or sports or tutoring. I had to fight the school district for tutoring. Okay, and they offered for 2 years in a row to pay $7,000 towards her tutoring. I'm about to go for a third year and ask for tutoring for her final year, which is next year. Um, so I want to make sure that I get some compensation to help her with her school, and that's really all she has is the tutoring, and she's still struggling because the terror's talking in my head, they're screaming in my head saying, ha ha ha, we're playing with your daughter's head, she's struggling because we're torturing her with this weapon. But I mean, she can't feel it, she doesn't know that it's happening. I and I believe like the weapon is like they have to go through a designated person to give out these commands to attack people. So it's like through me. I know this sounds weird, but they'll say, okay, we want to cause Renee's daughter a stroke, for example. And they have to speak it into my mind, and that will set off a command that causes Leah a stroke. I know I sound crazy, but whatever. Anyways, this is not obviously to people who don't know about this weapon. And they'll sit here and scream in my head like, ha ha, ha ha, your daughter doesn't get it. She doesn't get the material. Over and over again. Like, do you get the picture, bitch? In my head. And they cause me strokes all day long and rewire my mind. They're causing me a stroke right now. So I can't communicate. So I can't communicate what I'm experiencing, so that I can't market myself or get in conversation with people and build a relationship, or so that I can't comprehend things or get involved in anything and have a hobby or hobbies, so that I could relate to people and find ways to build connections. The terrorists talking in my head are psychotic trash, dude. They do it to me, so I know they're doing it to my daughter. It's not a joke. And they keep saying, and they're going to face the death penalty, and that's obvious. And the thing that has their back up against the wall or the corner is that the U.S. government said, hey, your kids turn 18, they spend a dime of that terrorist laundered money, okay? And we catch you on any of these records, your kids are getting sentenced to death. And so the terrorists don't want me saying that I hear them in my head, because then it puts them in that fucking corner where it's like they have to explain so that their kids don't get sentenced to death with them. And so it's like all day long, well, I'm gonna. It's like, no, you're not gonna. You are. And for that, you're being sentenced to death. That's exactly why I'm explaining. Like, you don't want me to explain. Find